What if I told you that your food, your medicine, your education, and your entire way of life was all engineered by one man? Would you believe me? Of course, this is just strictly for entertainment purposes only. So, who's ready to get edumacated? Once again, this is just a reminder that this is all for education purposes only. Okay, the guy, John D. Rockefeller. That's right. This guy didn't just get rich, he built one of the most powerful empires in American history. He's like my idol. He founded Standard Oil, and at its peak, it controlled over 90% of the entire oil industry. That's right. One guy held a monopoly over the lifeblood of the entire industrial world. Woo, this guy, idol material. That's right. But unfortunately, monopolies were illegal. So in 1911, the Supreme Court said, you, Standard Oil, have broken antitrust laws. So we're going to order you to break up into 34 separate companies. Wonder if you ever heard of any of them. It's amazing, though, because what they did not tell you is that Rockefeller still owned the majority shares of most of those companies. So breaking them up made him more richer and powerful. Imagine that. But oil, that was just the beginning. See, Rockefeller used his wealth to reshape education, medicine, agriculture, and public thought. And that public thought brings us all the way to the General Education Board. Because let's face it, John D. Rockefeller cares about your education. So much so that he actually donated $1 million to launch it, right? I mean, this private organization, it was created to influence higher education, medical schools, and even farming practices across the United States. It literally modernized Southern agriculture, pushed farming systems, and even created a county agent model. Because let's face it, Southerners don't know how to grow food. They never did it before. Why would they start? You know what I'm saying? In other words, Rockefeller directly reached into our food systems. Now, with Rockefeller having major influence in higher education, medical schools, and farming practices across the United States, left the door wide open for his buddy, Andrew Carnegie, and the Carnegie Foundation for Advancement of Teaching. It's the other half of the takeover, reforming of schools and education. Just look at all the stuff this guy did. He's a genius, right? The president of this foundation at the time, Henry Pritchett, that was his name. He wanted a total reform of all medical schools. Nobody really ever asked why either. But I'm sure it was in the best interest of the people. So Carnegie got together with Rockefeller. They aligned their interests and they hired one guy, to conduct a massive evaluation of the medical education system. 155 schools across North America to be exact. And this overqualified guy, Abraham Flexner. You gotta admit, that's a hell of a name right there. This guy is cool. Look at this guy, bro. He's an American educator, best known for his role in 20th century reform of medical and higher education in the United States and Canada. Wow. Let's give it up for this guy right here. This guy, wow, okay? There's only one problem. Mr. Flexner here, he was not a doctor. Flexner was not a scientist nor a medical educator. Flexner had a Bachelor of Arts degree, and he also ran a for-profit private school in Louisville, Kentucky. That's his entire background. And yet, Mr. Flexner was placed in charge of reconstructing American medicine. Can we make it make sense? Pause to read. You have to understand that the Flexner Report destroyed holistic healing systems that have been used for generations. Almost all of it wiped out, defunded, or even discredited. And the result? The medical system shifted away from natural healing into pharmaceutical oil-based medicine, which just so happened to be the exact industry Rockefeller controls. I'm not a conspiracy theorist by any means, but that didn't seem like philanthropy, right? Kind of seemed like a blueprint, like a takeover of medicine, food, education, and energy, all directly tied back to the Rockefeller network, right? And is somehow protected through tax-exempt private foundations? Nah, couldn't be.